But how are you though?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm all right. Well, got the one and only Mrs. Terri Kelley.
Good to be here.
And without you, none of this would be possible. And I want to say thank you.
Without us, because it takes a village, you know that.
That's right. Okay. Well, where you from?
So I'm a military brat growing up, so I don't really call anywhere home.
Really?
Yep. To be honest with you, Valley is the only place I've lived at the longest.
Wow. Seriously?
Seriously. So I grew up in Germany, 10 years, Italy, 4 years. Came back to the States, lived in Illinois, and then moved here from Illinois, met Ralph, and then we moved to Florida. And then in 08, we moved back to here because Ralph's parents had a house here. So we moved here in 08, and this is the longest I've ever lived anywhere.
Really?
And I have the itch every day to leave. But that's just being a military brat. That's all that is.
How was it growing up there in, I guess, Germany?
Well, so it's a little different. In Germany, you have different cultures. You don't live the American way over there, And I say that in here, we're required to go to school, from the time we're kindergarten and up, right? There, they have schooling starting earlier than that. However, it's not the same. Like, you go to school for 5 hours a day. You don't go to school long term. You study different subjects every day. You don't study like different periods. Like we go here, different things at different times. You don't learn the same things. Over there, we were taught more business and things like that, younger ages. Like they teach you how to, just how to live life a little differently. It's not like, well, we got to learn history or we got to learn science or we have to learn things like that. And then, of course, I was only there in my elementary school years. So coming in high school and such, that's when you learn the way that we are taught. Right. And I think that's why a lot of times when you look at different cultures, sometimes they have more experience in different fields than we do because of the way they're taught.
What genre of music do you listen to?
R&B.
R&B. Okay.
Always.
Okay, so
always. Okay.
Bruno Mars or Usher? See,
that's not fair because here's why. My theme song, and I call it my theme song, is I Want to Be a Millionaire. But it's the only Bruno Mars song I really know. So I'll go Usher all day long. But Bruno Mars, I Want to Be a Millionaire. I mean, I listen to that almost every day. That's what drives me.
Really? What were you doing before you became a realtor?
So like everybody, we have to find our way. And when I was 18, I started managing pawn shops. And so I managed pawn shops up until 2003. So from 18 to 2003, I managed pawn shops. And you learn a lot. Like I had to.
So you good at trading.
I'm really good at bartering. I'm really good at negotiations. I'm really good at closing deals, things like that. I'm really good at that. So I got out of the pawn shop business in Florida because all the stores kept getting robbed. It was really dangerous. And so I just got tired of it, And so I didn't know what to do. I went into collections. I did collections for like third-party collections for about 2 years. And I was really good at it. Again, negotiations. You got to talk people into paying their debt. And then from there, I was working with Chase Mortgage doing collections for people that were going bad on their mortgages. And that was back in 06, 07. And so things got ugly. People couldn't pay for anything. And so Ralph at the time worked in a mortgage company. And we were hanging out with one of the owners of the stuff. And he was like, well, I'm doing short sales. And I'm like, well, what the hell's that? And I knew because our company did it. And it basically, when people were losing their houses, he would go in and help them get their house without losing it. They wouldn't make any money, but without losing it and messing up their credit completely. And so he started coming to work for him. And so that's when I got into real estate. And again, in 07, everything just went to shit. I mean, the market it was horrible. And so Ralph got out of mortgages and we left, and that's back here in 08. And so from there, I didn't know what to do. I did a stint in the plants. I worked at Mobis for a quick second. Then I went into the medical field. I got my certified medical assistant phlebotomy, so I was doing medical. And then I went back into collections, and then I went to Blue Cross Blue Shield, which was easy. It was a desk job, but I could not sit still. So I just said, you know what, it's time. Let me get back into real estate. So in 2013, I got back in real estate. I've done a lot.
Too much.
I've done a lot. You know what though? Here's the thing. You can't be afraid. Right. You can't be afraid to try stuff. Right. And I'll never forget it. Someone we know well, Meaty and I would talk all the time. And I would tell her, like, I really want to take this leap. I really want to take this leap and do real estate. And she said, girl, you just got to try. You got to trust your gut. And it was a lot for me to think, like, I'm going to give up a job that I make really good money at Blue Cross Blue Shield. Like, how could I give that up and just go into real estate? Like, nothing's guaranteed. And I remember looking at Ralph and saying, look, I'm going to sell 50 houses this year. And that was in 2013. And he said, no, you're not.
No, you're not?
He did. Because I always had big dreams.
Right.
And he supports everything that I want to do. But he knew reality. Like, I think big. And he was like, no, you won't. And I did, and I sold 7.
It's close enough.
But that's just who I am. Like, I like to think big.
Right. Exactly. Sneakers or Reese cup?
Oh, you talking candy. I was about to say Snickers. Reese's.
Say what?
Sneakers, shoes. I'm not just talking about shoes.
So, how long have you been a real estate agent? I was going to say, how did you start? But I think you kind of answered that question already.
Mm-hmm. So, I've been back in real estate since 2013. So, 12 years.
12 years?
Mm-hmm. Going on 13.
You don't have to answer. But how many clients are you currently working with?
Active buyers, I think I have 13. Active sellers, that's a very loaded question because I represent 3 different builders now. And so we have builders that are building subdivisions. Okay. Yeah, so we have over 350 houses coming in the next 3 years. So I represent them for the most part. I do a lot of military relocation, so I have a lot of listings that are in like Fort Mitchell, Phoenix City, Opelika. I'll work anything going from Noonan to Montgomery to Columbus and Tampa. I sell in Tampa too.
Yeah. How you like, I don't see how you do that. It just sounds like it's like.
I can't not be busy. It drives me crazy. Like I can't sit still. And here's the thing, you know, once you start doing something that you really love doing, it's not work anymore. If my kids get mad at me, they're like, Ma, you travel everywhere, you don't come see us. I want to, I'm just always busy.
So you love it?
I love it. I love what I do.
Name 3 hobbies you like to do.
I love to play basketball, however, I don't play anymore. Okay. I love to shop.
Oh, Lord, you said that yesterday.
Love to shop. I don't even care if it's like going to the grocery store or walking the aisles. I love to shop. And I don't know, just spending time with my family and my husband, watching football or something like that.
Okay. And you said you like to travel too. Mm-hmm. What's one of your favorite places you like to go?
We just got back from St. Lucia. I love it.
I've never been.
It's our second trip, and it is
and
like.
It's like a bunch of whales out there or something like that?
Bunch of what?
Whales. On whales and stuff like that?
I mean, I ain't
like
seen one.
Bunch of water out
it's
there?
all water. It's like a little bitty island way down there. And I begged to see some big swimmer things when we were in the water, but I didn't see none. No, but it's just, it's different. Like the cultures, again, I like going to other places and just seeing how they live. But St. Lucia's, they're not a rich country, and they treat everybody amazing. Mm-hmm. Like even the people that are mean are nice. It's crazy, but just their cultures. And then of course I'm a fish. I love being surrounded by water.
Really? Mm-hmm. How many places you done been?
Too many to count. Too many to count. You know what a shame though is, and Ralph and I were talking about this, next year I think we're gonna travel around America. Because I go to other countries, but I haven't even traveled our country.
Really?
I'm in Florida all the time.
You might have been to every, I kind of figured you might have been to every state almost.
Nope. Like we were talking the other day, weird enough, I don't like cold, but I want to go places like Montana and Colorado and things like that, you know. We went out to San Diego. That was beautiful. Like really, I didn't know places like that over here existed. And San Diego was just amazing. Their temperature's perfect all the time, like everything. And then New York, I love New York. I've been like 2 or 3 times now. I freaking love the hustle and bustle of New York. I love it.
That's on my bucket.
But truth be told, we lived in Florida 5 years. We never even been to Miami.
What?
Never. So why not? Why are we going to other countries? And I ain't even been to the hot cities here in America. I've been to Texas. I go to Texas 2-3 times a year. But I want to go to Miami next. I think we're going to go down to the Keys or something.
What online and offline marketing strategies do you use? So
when you're online, I think what people try to do is just be funny and do weird things. But I think you just need to be authentic. I think you need to be who you are, authentically who you are. Because even though you may not think that what you have to say or what you portray out there somebody needs, they always do. Somehow, some way.
Being relatable.
Be very relatable. Yeah, like tell the story. And then, you know, like, especially in my field, you do house tours, you do things, but that's all fine and fun and dandy, but you got to add another layer of that to be real and no fluff. That's my motto, no fluff, on how to actually become a homeowner or how to actually become an investor or something to that degree. So when I always attribute my success to many things, and number one being helping the people, helping people understand the opportunity that they have and how easy it actually can be.
How many people do you think you don't know?
Oh, I know how many. I'm a very numbers-driven person. I've helped 675 clients.
How do you handle multiple offers, and what is your average list to sell price ratio? Is it above 100% or lower?
So it depends on the market. My list ratios, I always sell at value. I hardly ever have to negotiate that. I would say 95% list to sale ratio. There's only been 2 houses that make that 3 now. 3 houses in 13 years that I have not been able to sell, or that someone has taken the opportunity away from me to be able to sell it. Now, as far as buyers, I've only had 2 buyers that have ever come to me that did not actually buy, and it was not my fault.
Go ahead.
Their situation changed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other one was just stupid. The person went out and bought something they shouldn't have bought, and it killed their
Financial.
They bought something during the transaction process they shouldn't have bought, and unfortunately, they're no longer qualified.
So what, it tanked their credit scores on?
No, we work off debt to income ratios, and so when you add a debt to your credit, now you can't afford the house. That's why we tell people all the time, don't buy cars, buy a house, then buy a car. It's much easier to buy a car. So people are like, oh, I love it, I want it. And you go buy a car. In today's world, you buy a car and you've got a $700, $800, $900 car payment. Well, you just could only barely afford $1,200 a month on a mortgage, but you just added a $900 car payment. Now you can't afford $300, and that ain't gonna buy you nothing.
So how do you handle multiple offers though?
So we don't really see a lot anymore. When we were getting them, it's a tricky situation as a selling agent. Meaning I list the houses and I get the offers. I just have to arrange them on a spreadsheet, and we don't, generally we don't show the clients the true full contract because names could vary, could make a person make a decision. We just put all the terms on a spreadsheet and let them look at the terms. If they have emotion behind it and they want to see the contracts, obviously it's their right. We hand them to them, but it makes it a little different. And as a buyer, I don't generally get my buyer clients don't generally get in a position of multiple offers anymore. But when they do, you just have to put your best foot forward and realize that if it's meant for you, it'll be for you. And if it's not, and you put your best foot forward and somebody else wins, you have to be okay with that. We all want things in life that we can't have, right?
Right.
Same thing in a house. You may want something, especially in today's world, prices of homes have gotten a lot higher. Yeah. And because of that, The goal isn't to go for the mansion. The goal is to go for something that you can afford today in your current situation for the next 3 to 5 years. At the end of that 3 to 5 years, everything that you've paid in a monthly mortgage payment becomes equity. And so you take that equity when you sell that property and you go buy and invest into something bigger and better. People trade houses like they trade cars. I want a new house every couple of years. I'm not gonna sell the house that I'm in. I'm gonna rent the house that I'm in. I'm gonna go buy something bigger. Why? Because now it's an investment house, right? But let's just say I have clients that bought in 2020, 2021, right here in the Valley. They may have paid $189,000. Their house today is worth $270,000, $280,000 all day. $100,000 in equity they're sitting on. That isn't even the payments that they've made monthly. The monthly payments are still there. So guess what? They bought it at $189,000. They've paid it down to $175,000 maybe, right? So there's another $15,000 there. So they got $150,000 in equity. They're just sitting there and they're comfortable. Do they sell it? If they're unhappy with the home that they live in, then they sell it. If they're not and there's no need, then they stay. Period. But a lot of people don't know that you can, and I don't always recommend it, but let's say you went out and you bought a car, right? And you owe $60,000 on that car, you got $100,000 in equity. You could have the opportunity to take the equity out of your house and put it on your car. Instead of carrying that $800-900 car payment, you just built it into your mortgage, which is probably only $150-200. You're spreading it out over a longer term, so it's not always a smart option, but it is an option. An even better option is you got $150,000 or $100,000 in equity. Why not go buy another house? Doesn't have to be one you live in. Why not go buy one you can rent out?
That's pretty dope. Y'all heard that, right? She just dropped some game on y'all now.
Again, real estate is an investment. It's the only investment in the world right now that will constantly give you positive equity. A car is not. You can go drive it. I mean, I'm driving a nice car, don't get me wrong. But that car is not worth the dollar I paid for it already.
Right.
And I just drove it off the lot. That's negative equity. You know, people buy mobile homes, whatever they're called in today's world. They're beautiful. There are some that are banging, 3, 4, 5 wide homes, and they're great.
Right.
They're not worth the dollar that you bought them.
So they get no equity on that?
They're just like a car.
Oh, wow.
Mobile homes have negative equity. And to be honest with you, it costs more to get into a mobile home than it does into a house. And here's the truth. They're gonna make you get the land. So you gotta have the land to put it on.
Right.
You have to pay to have it moved to the land that you put it on. If the land doesn't already have a septic tank, you have to get a septic tank put in. If the land doesn't have power to it, you gotta get power and water run to it. And then you gotta have it tied down, skirted. Tying down means they gotta lock it to the ground so it don't fly away when a tornado comes through. You gotta skirt it up so it looks good, nothing can crawl up underneath it. So you're spending 20 grand to get into it. And then once you've lived in it 3 to 5 years, just like a car, things start going wrong. I mean, you gotta have a warranty. And don't get me wrong, they're not a bad thing. If that's what you need to do, that's what you need to do.
Right.
But don't do it for the purpose of, I'm gonna make money off of living in a property.
2 favorite meals, 2 favorite desserts, and 2 favorite drinks.
Favorite meals would be, it's a German meal, Jägerschnitzel with Spätzle.
What?
It's fried. It's like a fried pork chop with noodles. That's my favorite meal. My other favorite meal would be just a good steak and potato.
Okay.
Favorite dessert, I'm on this health kick right now, so it's actually Greek yogurt with fruit.
Okay.
And then the other one would be, I don't really like a lot of sweets, so I would say maybe just standard cookies.
Okay.
Favorite drink, alcohol or regular?
Either or.
Old fashions.
Old fashioned, that's
Bourbon.
Yeah, bourbon.
It's bourbon.
I thought it was whiskey, but it's bourbon.
Yeah, bourbon. Anything with bourbon. And then water. I don't drink anything but water. And water and bourbon, that's all I drink. Well, that's not true. I'll drink a Bloody Mary.
Ew.
Tomatoes are good for you, whatever.
No. I was at a casino and I ordered a Bloody Mary. It was my first time ever. I thought it was gonna be good. I drank it and I spit on the machine. No, I'm good.
That's funny.
Okay, so how would you guide a person through the entire home buying process, including the loan and closing stages?
That's a very long question. The biggest thing is no matter where you are today, if the goal is to buy a home, you need to get started. You have to pick a person to represent you, not necessarily based off of just knowing them, but really interviewing that person to know what they know. For me, I have everybody come to me before they do anything. So I have a buyer consultation where we sit down and we talk about the truth. Where's your credit? How long have you been on your job? What are the things? And if you're not ready and you need credit, then I help you with your credit. Because I've done credit for so long, I can pretty much fix anybody's credit without, and I don't charge them. So that's where we start. Once we determine that you're ready, both financially and credit wise, then we discuss the lenders. So I have relationships with lenders. And we discuss the importance and the difference on how to choose a lender. And then from there, you get your qualifications. Once you're qualified, then we discuss what it is you want, where you want to be, all the things. And then we go take a look for those things. And then once you find your home, obviously I negotiate all the terms and all the contracts and everything. And then going through the process, the biggest thing is don't make any changes. Don't change jobs. Don't buy anything. Don't do anything crazy. Save up your money. And then the closing process is, it's super simple. Once you've spent about 21 days or so, you're under contract, and then you just close on your house and you move in. So I offer different concierge services, like I can help you with your utility transfers. I can help you with moving companies, things like that. I form relationships with everybody that's a part of a transaction, so that I can give you all that in the beginning so that you can start prepping for it.
Hey, what's a lender?
A lender is either a bank or a mortgage broker that gives you the money.
So you gotta have a bank account, man.
You do have to have a bank account. And chime accounts are fine until you want to buy a house, and they're not fine anymore. Traditional banks are extremely important, and people don't always trust them, but they are very important, especially in the buying process. Because if your money's in an account like a Chime or there's 3 or 4 other ones, you don't have easy, quick access to it. Those are internet-based companies. You need something you can have easy, quick access to your money. A lot of people talk about what happens if the internet goes down and they have our money and we can't get a hold of it. Well, that's very true, even with those types of companies.
What financial advice would you give a person when it comes to buying a home?
Never think you know what you need to know to buy a house. Always ask the question. And I say that because the internet is great for looking up stuff, but the internet can scare you. Everybody's situation is different. There's not a set rule that says you're going to need a certain amount of money. There's not a set rule that says you have to have a certain credit score. There are no set rules in real estate. There are basic guidelines, and that is, depending upon the loan type that you get, there are basic guidelines. And so getting with someone that has the knowledge, one thing about me is, I tell you, I go above and beyond. So the fact that I understand credit to the degree that I do, the fact that I understand the real estate market and the real estate buying and selling process the way that I do, I also understand the mortgage process. I've taken the mortgage classes. I literally can walk down and take the test and become a mortgage broker today if I want to. Because I've taken the classes, I've done all the work.
I'm surprised you ain't already won.
Well, and that's just because I got busy, to be honest with you. I got busy, and I just decided that, I choose to know every aspect that goes into this. I know the title process, which is part of the closing process. And I learned that because if I can't educate you and I can only ask other people, what value do I truly bring? And so there's not a part of anything real estate that if you ask me, I probably don't already have the answer to. So to me, come ask.
So let me ask you this: do you really gotta have like $2,500 to $3,500 to put down?
Not always.
Not always?
No, there's loan types out there where you literally can come up with enough money to pay for your inspections, which you need to have, and pay for your appraisals, and that's $1,500.
And so you can get a house zeroed out?
Technically, yes. It's 100% financed. There are different things. So
how would somebody qualify to be able to get a zero down on a home?
Well, without saying the wrong thing, if you don't make a lot of money and you fall within certain parameters, you will qualify for government assistance. And anytime you qualify for any type of government assistance, there are programs out there that you can qualify for to get assistance. Now, is it great to use those? If you need them, they're there. I personally wouldn't want to go 100% into a house. I would want to have something in the game. And the reason being is you never know what tomorrow may bring. If you've got 10 grand invested into a home already and you have to sell, you have the opportunity to sell without coming up with more money. But if you get in 100% and let's say something goes crazy in 6 months, you have no equity. It's going to cost you money to sell. So that's the only real reason.
What do you mean by getting in 100%? What you mean?
So if you borrow $100,000, your house is $100,000, you borrow $100,000, you're in at 100%. Okay. But if you put down 3.5%, well, now you're only in 96.5. So you got $3,500 leeway. It's also easier. Getting anything from the government, you got to prove your life. They want to know everything. And so if you have the ability to save up some money, to put some money down, it's a lot easier process.
You don't necessarily have to go get a home just because everybody else get a home. You can live however you want to live. It's just, you got people always asking you, why you don't get you no house and all this, you know what I'm saying? And I just feel like certain people need to hear and understand that you don't necessarily have to go get a home. You can stay in apartments, you can stay in your car, you can live however you want to live. You don't have to go get a home.
You don't?
But if you did want a home, like she just said, I suggest you find someone such as herself to talk to.
And here's the reality. You don't have to buy a house. You can pay rent all you want to.
Right.
The only reason you buy a house is when you're thinking investment. And that's not even just personal, that's investment. I care where my money goes.
Right.
I care what gives me a return on my investment. So renting doesn't give me a return on my investment. However, if I'm not where I want to be, I'm not in a position where I'm comfortable, I don't want the maintenance of owning a home and cutting grass and all the things, then heck yeah, stay in an apartment. Right. Because I'll tell you in a heartbeat, I'm ready to get me a condo in Florida just to have a place to go. Right. I mean, that's just that. But I'm not looking at it as I'm buying a house that I'm going to live at in the rest of my life. That's not what I'm looking at. I'm looking at it as by the end of 2026, I want to own 6 houses.
See, you thinking like I'm thinking. Like if I did get a home, it would be basically for just investing. I mean, that's what I'm looking at here. You know what I'm saying?
That's 100% what it should be. Everybody, I could name 10 people that I've helped in the past that right now and today, their life has changed in some dynamic. And the home that they bought may not suit them any longer. Maybe it's too big, maybe it's too small, maybe it's whatever. Those are the type of people that have to make the next decision. I don't need this house anymore. Do I sell it? Do I keep it? Do I get something else? Personally, they have to make that decision. Now, I can give them guidance on here's what you could do with the property, but they still have to make that decision. If I'm ever in a position to move away from here, I'm not going to sell the house that we have. My husband's family has owned that house for 30-something years. I won't sell it. I'll rent it because it makes more sense.
Now, I got 2 questions of my own. This is my own because now I'm just I'm going off the script now. Is land easier to sell than real estate?
Yes and no, depending on the land, because it has to have a use. If it's just blank land and it has no use, then no. If it has value in the capacity of someone could buy it and develop it, or could just buy it, hunt on it. I mean, I got a lot of people that buy land just to hunt. Some people buy land that have mature trees on it because they can harvest the trees and make money. So there's different reasons, but it has to have a usability or it's not as valuable.
Could a person get a house, 0 down, and still get equity?
It'll take time, but yeah. Well, and here's the other part. For instance, I have a gentleman who we put a contract in several years ago, and the house at the time didn't appraise for the amount that they were selling it for. And so they dropped the value. The appraiser was crazy because the house next door sold for $40,000 higher, exact same house. So the guy had instant $40,000 in equity.
I don't know, I'm lost.
So you want to sell a house and you want to sell it for $100,000. Well, whoever's buying the house goes to
You didn't put nothing down though, so how you gonna sell it for 100?
You didn't hear what I said. The appraiser messed up.
See, that's what I'm saying. That way I got lost it right there on the appraisal part.
So you're selling the house for $100,000, and the appraiser comes in and says it's only worth 60. You have the option to either sell or not sell. The person sold because they needed to. My buyer bought it. The house next door, within a month or two, sold. Exact same house, exact same square footage, exact everything, for that $100,000. Well, guess what? Now your house is worth $100,000. So you got $40,000 in equity.
Oh wow. Yeah, right.
There's just a lot of different scenarios. That's why I say there's not a standard book. Everything in real estate is different. There's a solution to everything, but you just got to get with someone who knows the answers.
Promo, you got anything coming up? Anything you got going on? Any houses for leasing, rent? I mean, well, not necessarily rent, but for sale or anything?
So my biggest promo would be just follow me. Follow me on anything social, Terri Kelley Group. I always have something for sale. I always have an opportunity for a buyer. I always have opportunities for investors. So anything real estate related, even credit related, whatever it is, I'm always there. Just find me online.
Okay, then. Well, we out, man. Jeez. Appreciate your tea. That was pretty good, man.